So as we were expecting, SPY ended up gapping down. It ended up dropping nicely in the pre-market when the CPI data was released. We had members taking advantage of that trading opportunity with SPY puts. One of them ended up making over $10,000. This guy is so consistent. He's up over six figures since joining Trader Society. He locked in nearly an $8,000 profit on SPY puts, swing trading those with that whole concept that it was going to crash due to the CPI data, taking that extra risk of holding overnight. And then he also made another $1,400 profit with the SPY options. He also ended up taking a trade on NEO using the gap close reversal strategy. You guys remember that video that I posted yesterday? This gap trading strategy will make you rich in 2022. Well, guess what? I used the same strategy once again, and I made a 15% return in and out within 15 minutes on NEO stock. And we had the same member again take the trade on NEO. He's up over $2,000 on that NEO trade on the day, $12,000. I believe yesterday he made nearly like $28,000, something like that. His results have been insane. He's based in New York City. I'm definitely going to have to meet up with him in terms of sometime this year. But yeah, I'm going to be going over the trade recaps in terms of my NEO call options and how I was able to profit 15% in 15 minutes. I also sold my PROG swing trade from $1.14 to 126, making a nice, I believe that's like 6% return. And then I also entered a new swing trade that I'm currently up 9% on, expected to be up 30% plus. We're going to be going over that. But guys, here's the deal. This video is going to be very, very important because the market is approaching key critical trend reversal levels, gap close reversal levels that are going to generating very, very lucrative returns with this gap trading strategy. So with that being said, make sure you stay till the end of the video and make sure you smash that like button. I'm going to be sharing with you the best upcoming gap close reversal strategies that I'm planning to use on the SPY to trade both ways, and that I'm also planning to use on a couple of stocks. These are truly going to be the best setups at the best prices that I currently see now, and within some time, these price alerts will trigger. I want to be very, very clear. We have a system that works. So you must learn it and you must be consistent with it and disciplined enough to just stick with that gap trading system. So once you find the setup, you set the price alerts and you walk away from the screen. If you do not do that, you're going to end up forcing a trade or trading a different setup that doesn't work as well, or fighting price action in between. So make sure you guys are sticking to trading just the best setups at the best prices. For example, on the SPY, I didn't trade the SPY today because it was trading in the middle range. You could see right here on the SPY, there are two gaps to fill. And at both of these key gap fill levels, there's huge, you can see right here, when SPY goes to 427, look at the resistance. There's big downside potential. This went from 427 all the way to 416, right? Big downside potential. So if it shows signs of resistance, we could see a nice gap close reversal when this gap from 427.41 fills. That's why I decided to not play puts on SPY today. And you can see right here, this is the low end of the channel with big upside potential. There's a gap to fill at 416.25. Once SPY hits that gap fill level, we look for the bullish confirmations and then we look to buy calls. If you trade in between, you are going to give back all of your profits. You are going to most likely lose money. I'm telling you guys, keep it simple. Trade the best setups. This is the best setup, a gap close reversal. Okay, what is the best price to trade the gap close reversals? Right here, right here. These are some of the best prices. If it doesn't work out, we get stopped out quickly. Then we move on to a higher gap. There's a gap here. There's a gap here, right? We got to trade the best setups at the best prices. And with that being said, let's just stick to that. So in terms of SPY, very, very simple. I'm interested in buying puts when it goes to 427.41. I will say this, if it cracks 425.48 tomorrow, it should see a nice pullback. It really should. So that's going to be another key level of interest in terms of tomorrow. It wasn't a key level of interest in terms of today because today it hasn't closed yet. This is going to be a new gap level for tomorrow, 425.48, the new previous closing price. So it updates every day. So three key levels. Best level to buy puts for the micro is going to be here. Best level to buy calls for the micro is going to be here. In terms of tomorrow, I want to see how it responds to 425.48 as well. That's what I'm looking to do mainly on SPY. Like I said, puts here and then calls there. Gap close reversals. When the gap fills, look for a sign of reversals. I taught you guys, some of the basics to this strategy. It gets much more advanced, but I taught you some of the basics within that video I posted. So make sure you watch that. That's going to be the second link in the description. Now, in terms of, what I want you to understand in terms of the battle zone. SPY is in a battle zone. It has been trying to fill this gap, and it's also been trying to fill this gap. If it cracks 425 tomorrow, it's going to be unlikely that we fill this gap, and it's most likely going to go back to 420. If it holds 425, it should fill this gap, and then we'll look for signs of a reversal. As of now, during extended hours, right, as I'm making this video, I do believe it is gapping up. Let's see. So yeah, it closed at 425.48. It is currently gapping up at 426. So if this just has a massive gap up tomorrow and it blows through 427.41, then my next level of interest to buy puts are going to be here at $432.17. There's a gap to fill there at 432.17, which is right here on the SPY, 432.17. There's a gap to fill. That gap filled in the pre-market. It never filled during normal trading hours. And you can see once it filled in the pre-market, it sold off very hard. So if SPY has some nice little gap up tomorrow and it goes above 427.41, then I'm looking at a 432, 17 resistance gap close reversal, or possibly a breakdown below 427.41. So SPY should be a very, very good trade setting up for, tomorrow. And we have to see how it reacts. I'm telling you, it's going to be the very important update tomorrow on the live trading stream. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of SPY right now. I'm looking for a potential put towards 427.40. If it goes higher than that, then the next level is 432.17. That'd be the next level. Now, in terms of other plays I'm interested in, so Snow. I'm interested in buying some call options on Snow. Snow has a gap to fill right here at 191.61. If I can see it, form bullish confirmations, react as a strong support level, looks bullish towards this 191.61 level, I'm going to be interested in buying some call options on Snow for a quick in and out micro trade. The reason why I like this setup is it's extremely oversold on the daily. There's a gap to fill right here at 188.24. So see how I'm showing you the best charts. See how the charts that I'm showing you with gap close reversals are at key oversold levels with big upside potentials sitting towards new all-time lows, right? So in terms of that 188 level, you can see the strategy worked once again. It formed the green bullish trend reversal candlestick, and then it gapped up the next day. Very lucrative profits within that. Now, and I wasn't watching Snow at the time. This is why we have a team of Trader Society. So once everyone learns and understands the strategy, they can post in the chat, hey, I see a gap to fill here. I set my price alert here. And then when the price alert triggers, hey guys, my price alert triggers. Let's take a look at this. It's at its key gap close reversal level, right? Because, not everyone's going to be able to capture every single gap. But if we have a team and more eyes of people on them, we're going to be able to trade the best steps at the best prices, as long as that's what everyone's focused on and doing within Trader Society. So just focus on this. So I'm interested in Snow calls if we can get to 191.61, but it has to look bullish. It has to, the confirmations that I go over within that second link in the description. Now, Shopify is another one I'm interested in. So in terms of Shopify, there's two levels. There's one level for puts and there's one level for calls. So in terms of puts, see how I got all my price alerts set, right? I set these price alerts. That's all I'm doing. I set these price alerts. When they trigger, I pull up the chart. When I look at the chart, I wait for the confirmation. If I get the confirmation, I take the trade. If I don't get the confirmation, I don't take the trade. The trades are solely based off of the gap strategies, and they come from price alerts only. This trade that I made on NEO was not luck. It didn't come out of thin fucking air. It came out of me doing the work, creating the plan. And, as you can see right here in terms of the watch list, when I'm saying right here at 9:57 a.m., price alert set for potential gap close reversals, NEO 1798, meaning once NEO hits 1798, I'm going to look for some confirmations for a reversal. And then as you can see, that was at 9:57 a.m. I set my price alerts. My price alert triggered. I waited for confirmation, just like we had members do within Trader Society. Like I showed you, one made over $2,000 profit. And then I entered at 10:10 a.m. With that being said, Will, why did you buy NEO call options at 10:10 a.m. when NEO stock was right here at, let's see, it was right here. Is this the 1 minute? Let's go to the 1 minute. So right here, why did you buy NEO stocks at 10:10 a.m., which was right here when it hit $18? And within 10 minutes, it went all the way to $18.40. Within that brief 10 minutes, and I went with safe in the money call options, they were up over 35% when it topped out right here. I sold for an average profit of 15%, and it's a good thing I did lock in my profits, because look what happened. It fell off a fucking cliff. Neo had a nice gap close reversal, and it was a short-term reversal, and it started showing signs of resistance. So I told myself, I got to play it safe. I can't just sit here, hope and hold and say, oh, the gap is going to fill at 2017 now because this gap filled and it had a reversal and it's forming bullish candlesticks. No, there's ways to measure your risk. Once I see that it bottomed out at this nice gap close reversal strategy, same strategy I showed you with Coca-Cola, remember? So in terms of Neo, right, I'm recapping the trade now. With Neo, there was a gap to fill here towards $17.98. And this was an overreaction. It gapped down from $20.17 and then it quickly dropped to $17.98. That's an overreaction. Plus, on the daily, it's extremely oversold at key support. So I told myself, this is going to be a great opportunity to quickly get in and get out. And that's exactly what I did. And once I noticed that resistance was forming here, and I noticed, well, if resistance is forming right around here, it's going to go back to my initial fucking entry. So take the profit. So people can sit here and say, like, you know, there's been days where I get out of trades, I sell too soon. I make a quick 20, 30% on the contracts. My portfolio goes up 1%, 2%, 3%. And if I were to hold those contracts, my portfolio would have went up 10%, 15%, because it's a crazy trend reversal strategy. And when it goes, it goes. But then there's been other days where if I were to hold and not lock in profits, I would have gave back all my profits. And then if I were to continue to hold, once the gap fills and then reacts as a resistance level, breaks down as a resistance level, then I'm stuck holding the bag. So it works both ways. This isn't an exact science. You can't just sit here and say, oh, diamond hands, be patient. It doesn't work like that. This is price action. It's understanding that if Neo forms resistance here, it's going to go back to my initial entry. Can it still fill the gap? Can it still rip up? Yes, anything's possible. But at the end of the day, I'm playing it safe and I'm locking in my profits. Once I see resistance coming in at key resistance, I take profits off. I scale out. You see where I'm scaling out? It's all alerted right here at 10:12 a.m. Sold 1/3. I'm scaling out. 10:15 a.m. Sold 2/3. When I'm selling, that's confirmation that we're at a key critical level and it's not reacting the way I want it to react. So I scale out and then I leave a little bit of size, 20, 30% of my size that I put in left to ride. But it gets to a point where it doesn't make any more sense to ride it out because you're either up so much and it's not looking good in your direction that's going to be in your favor, or it's just not looking good at all. So you just completely get out. But yeah, within those 10 minutes of using that strategy and understanding how it works, literally as soon as Neo stock filled that gap, I mean, just look at the chart here. Look at the confirmation on the 5-minute chart. Bullish confirmation as soon as this turned 18, went red to green. As soon as it looked bullish, got in, got out, took my profits. A 10-minute window where you could have made 15 to 30% return within 10 minutes. I mean, for example, in terms of what he did, he managed to pull out $2,000 of the stock market using that strategy in just 15 minutes. It's possible. You got to trade like a sniper. Think of me as a sniper. That's how I trade. I trade exactly like a sniper. I'm not trying to aim for the big win. If anything, and I'm going for a big win, it looks like it's going to be great in my favor, I'll leave a little size on. If not, and things are looking bad, I'm completely out. I'm scaling out as it's, as it's going out, right? But this just shows you it works both ways. So that was a trade recap on Neo using the gap close reversal to then try and attempt to fill the gap above. Once it goes against me, I get out of the trade very, very quickly. Once it hits a key critical level and it's already in my favor and I'm up 20, 30%, I'll sell like 60% on spot, just like that. It has to keep going in my favor. If it's not going to continue to go in my favor, then I'm quickly scaling out. But yeah, that trade worked out very nicely. This is another trade on my radar. So on this one, this is my new swing trade. I'm currently up 9% on these. I bought some put options on Bumble. And this again was directly from my watch list, directly from my price alerts. It didn't come out of thin air. This was all strategically planned. I was waiting for specific confirmations like I did with Neo. This strategy is a little bit different. It's called the gap fill strategy. But yeah, this was alerted within the watch list right here. I said at 1:28 p.m. This is what I'm interested in doing for a passive swing. It's on my radar. I didn't enter yet. And then in terms of leap options, so this section right here, this is where I alert my day trades and short-term swing trades. Leap options is where I alert my midterm passive income, don't have to watch that much swing trades. These are great for people who have, extra money laid on the side. They're working 9 to 5s. They don't have time to actually view the market. These are great trades for that. I'm up 50% on my Coca-Cola Leaps, my March 18th expirations today. They absolutely printed up 50% on those. I'm up about 30% right now on my Kohl's put options. And in terms of Bumble, I entered these at 1:54 p.m. So the reason why I bought puts on Bumble, and I went with April. So in terms of the ones that I went with, it was a April 14th strike and April 14th expiration with a 22.5 out of money strike. I bought these at $2.03. Right now they're sitting at $2.25. With that being said, the reason why and the strategy behind it is this looks like it's in a situation where it's extremely overbought. It's going to start to fill the gap below, and history is repeating itself. So in terms of what I was comparing this to, it was a pattern right here. This is what I was looking at. See how Neo is kind of sitting at support. It's oversold. It gaps up. And then the day after that, it goes up again and it goes a little bit higher. And then what happens after that second day? Starts to go red, starts to go red, starts to go red, keeps going red. And then it fills that gap below. So I'm looking at that pattern and I'm comparing this candlestick here and this candlestick here to this candlestick here to this candlestick here. And I'm thinking to myself, it looks like we're seeing a pattern where history is repeating itself and it's starting to show bearish confirmations that it's struggling to break out and turn this key resistance here into support. And in terms of the daily chart, what it looks like is happening is, based off of that pattern I showed you, and in terms of more confirmations, it looks like this resistance right here that was previous heavy support is now reacting as resistance. So the stock is going to try to come back to earth within some time. So I'm playing it safe on this one. If I were super confident that it would fall very, very quickly, I would have went with a March 18th put option. I do believe there's a possibility that it can have a little bit of a spike back. I do believe it can take some time for it to crash and not right away. So every play and every situation is different. But in this particular stock, in this particular situation, I decided to play it safer, and I went with a April 14th expiration. In terms of swing trading, I've always found it best as well to give yourself more time than expected with the contracts. So I played it safe. They expire in 35 days. I'm already up 9%, and it's only day one. The sky's the limit. This looks like it's really getting ready to break down. So in terms of like confirmations and stuff, this mainly just needs to stay above 2360. If we could stay above 2360, should be good to go. It falls off a cliff once we can crack this $23 level. Once we crack 23, it's going to drop to 22. Once 22 cracks and turns into a resistance level, that's called a gap breakdown, meaning there's no support. So once $22 cracks, it pops back up, forms a lower high, or turns previous support into resistance. There is no support. It's a free fall to fill the gap below, right? That's going to be a really good key breakdown to keep an eye on. But yeah, it looks like it's setting up where for the short term, I'm not going to be surprised if it has like a little spike back. That won't shock me at all. But overall, the way things are looking, the bigger picture with these contracts that I chose, it looks like this stock is coming to an end where it's going to start to come back to earth. So those should print. And that's just passive income. That's just something where I don't have to watch that much. And then in terms of other opportunities that I'm seeing, Shopify is going to be another good opportunity. So in terms of Shopify, it's really oversold for the micro. So I'm interested in buying some call options when it goes back down here to fill this gap that's waiting to fill below at $514.95. Got my price alert set for that. And then I'm also interested in playing put options when it goes to here at $587.65. So remember, those are my levels of interest for buying calls, for buying puts, for trading both ways. But it's not just about the levels, it's about the confirmations. There's certain strategic confirmations that we use that are very, very simple. And if those confirmations trigger at those key levels, we take the trade. If those confirmations do not trigger, then we don't take the trade. It's just one thing you have to understand is with gap close reversals is, when they fill, does it look like the stock is trying to have a reversal? Or does it look like it's just going to keep going in the same direction it came from prior to filling the gap? Once you can identify that, typically within the first 5 minutes, we'll have a good identification on which way it's heading. Sometimes it takes up to 30 minutes. And if it takes up to 30 minutes, it will just trade sideways. And if it trades sideways at the level, or if it trades sideways a little bit in between, it just trades a little sideways. But no, we've really, I'm telling you, if you go back and watch that video, I'll leave a link in the second description. It's really going to show you a better understanding of how to trade these. But those are the top plays. Those are the top setups. That's where I'm looking to put size into the market. Another one is CEI. CEI has a gap to fill below at and I believe I got one more, so give me one moment. CEI has a gap to fill below right here at 78 cents. Once it hits 78 cents, I'm going to be bullish. I'm going to be interested in buying some call options. Just need the confirmations, right? So 78 cents is my level of interest for this. Not buying it till then. And one last stock. I believe there was one more. Let me just double check. Was it C? Yeah, it was CF. A member alerted this within the chat. This is setting up for a put. $100 is a key level. It already sold off hard from 100. It looks like we're set up in a situation where we're going to start to fill this gap at $92.34. We haven't gotten a strong confirmation, so this is just something on my radar. You can see the triple top is coming in as well, but it looks like it wants to go back down to fill this gap. So I am looking for a potential put on that as well. So that's going to be something on my radar. Definitely not going to be an easy play, especially with the current candles and stuff like that. So I need to wait for more of a bearish confirmation. But this does look bearish for the micro for the short term. So it's just something on my radar. And then CJ, we're waiting for bearish confirmations on that. It's at key critical resistance. Amazon, I'm not too interested on that. I will say this though, set a price alert on Amazon for at or below 2720. Once that gap fills, that is going to be a key level to be buying some call options. So we'll see. We'll also see how the split affects all of that as well. But yeah, that's going to be the main setups. That's going to be the top plays. So like I said, I am laser focused on compounding my account. If you just take the time to, Google a compound interest calculator, you type in your account size, put in a 1%, and then put in, what will the results be in the next year? What will the results be in the next 2 years? And you'll see how exponential your wealth will grow over time. And you can also compare it to a 2% return. A 2% return is mind blowing. But yeah, within just the past month, I've been able to pull out 2 to 3% returns plus on my portfolio very, very consistently. And it's not with like very light size. That's I saw the funniest thing, man. I don't use TikTok that much, but like I saw the funniest thing, man. There was this guy, he was showing his stock portfolio. He made like $30,000 on the day and his portfolio balance was at like $1 million. So he made $30,000 and he was getting so much hate. There was so many people with small accounts hating on him because they're like, this guy only made 3%. That's false advertising. People don't realize it's the people like that who are only making 1%, 2%, 3%. Those are the people who are doing it that way with a small account. Those are the ones who make it to that 7-figure account, to the 8-figure account. If you're going to grow a small account trying to make 10, 20, 30, 40% returns and just keep compounding, keep going all in, keep all in your money, you're never going to make it to that 7 figures. And if you do, you're going to lose it just as fast as you made it. It's the ones who are consistent and who are trading like snipers and who are trading the best setups at the best prices and who are aiming for smaller returns. Like in terms of trading options, it is realistic. I know it sounds crazy, but it is realistic with not putting a lot of money into an option contract, not putting in a lot of your portfolio into an option contract and flipping it within the first 30 minutes of market open for a 1% return, a 2% return of your entire account portfolio. It's possible when you're making a 30, 40, 50, 60% on the option contract. So it's just understanding that, when you start off small, it's not going to look like a lot of money, but if you stick with it and you're disciplined enough, all of a sudden it's going to exponentially scale. Within 1 year, you're going from 0 to 6 figures. A year after that, you're going from 6 figures to 7 figures. A year after that, 7 figures to 8 figures. So with that being said, if you can just stay disciplined enough to just truly trade the best setups at the best prices, like the examples that I showed you, those are the best ones that I'm seeing within the market now, which means I'm not interested in doing anything else, which means the only thing I'm doing right now is looking for better setups to set price alerts on. I'm not interested in, watching the stocks that I have price alerts on. I'm not interested in, sitting here and trying to force a trade or do something stupid, make a trade in between. I'm literally just at this point, just looking for more opportunities, just looking for a better opportunity. I'm just looking for a better price alert. That's all I'm looking for. My trades come from price alerts. And if you do that and you're disciplined, and if you just trade the price alerts, you just trade the gap, the best strategies, that's the beauty of it. When you set that price alert, you're not in a trade. There's no emotions. So it gives you the mindset of being able to identify, okay, I'm going to compare this stock on my watch list to this stock on my watch list. Okay, they're both gap close reversals. Which one, using the criteria that I give you within Trader Society, all the checklists, the criteria on how to identify what's a better gap close reversal, what's a better gap strategy, which one is going to generate the biggest return, which one has the littlest risk involved. Okay, this one's going to be the best one. So I'm going to set my price alert on this one, and I'm not even going to set an alert on the other one. I'm just going to keep it top quality only, right? I'm telling you, if you just put yourself in the best position possible to succeed by trading the best setups at the best prices, by going on a less is more approach, a quality over quantity approach, right? You can trade less. That doesn't mean that you're going to make more money, unless you're in a situation where you're trading the best setups at the best prices only, right? You also have to have the knowledge and the skill set behind those quotes and those sayings, because they are true if you understand the game and how it works. But I'm telling you, if you have that, your results will go through the roof. So if you're new, you're a beginner, that's all you should be doing. You should not be trying to experiment with a bunch of different strategies. Just stick to this gap close reversal strategy. Keep it stupid simple. And you should only be making like a couple trades per week. A couple great opportunities come around every single week. So with that being said, if you do want to join Trader Society, it's going to be the first link down below in the description. You will get lifetime access. It's a one-time fee to the chat room, to the live trading streams we do at Market Open, to the real-time trade alerts, to there's so much to it, to the one-on-one direct messaging with me and the members within Trader Society, and the video lesson library, where you get to learn how to master, the gap trading strategies, the gap trading system, the psychology behind trading, the risk management, the position sizing. So if you do want to learn and take your trading to that next level, the opportunity is there. Because guys, I'm telling you, I've been through it. I've been on top of the world before, and I gave it all back. I lost everything. I got in debt. I've been in very, very bad situations. And I'm telling you, if you just make that switch, or if you just start trading the best setups at the best prices, you're going to start to see your results go through the roof. And once that started happening for me, I started getting bored. I started watching other stocks. I started thinking, man, I got money now. What can I do more to make more money? What different setups can I enter? What different strategies can I try? And then I started doing different things. And then I started giving back all the profit. I started making all these stupid mistakes. If you just stick to what works and just do that and have a quality over quantity approach and literally only make a couple trades a week and literally just trade based off the price alerts set, you are going to get results. But once you start doing all these different things, I'm telling you, if you're just blindly following people's trades, if you're just trading different strategies that you don't understand, you're just wasting your time and you're going to be blowing your money very, very quickly. Don't go giving back your profits. Stick to what works. And I'm showing you what works. So just do this. That's all I'm saying. You just do this. Keep it simple. At first, it's not going to be crazy results. It's going to take time. But if you're playing it safe and you're compounding your account, you're not taking big, crazy position sizes, trying to get these insane returns that are possible. You can do it. You can make 100% return on your account within an hour on an option contract if you go on, and you could do it. But then you could also give it back just as fast as you made it. And it's not sustainable, and it doesn't put you in a situation for long-term growth. So just pull out the compound interest calculator, get yourself serious, and just trade the best sets at the best prices. Like, guys, let's do this. I'm showing you what we've got. And some of these trade ideas came from some of the best traders within the chat. Like that guy who's doing very, very well. He pointed me at one of these tickers. Like, I want you guys to be showing me, this is what I'm looking at. Here's my plan. Here's my trading plan. There's a gap close reversal right here. This is what I'm interested in doing, right? Once it fills the gap, I'm going to wait for the confirmations. What do you think of this gap close reversal? Look at this stock. What do you think of this one, right? I want to see the stocks that you're giving me. I want them to have that setup at those key levels, at the key oversold, overbought. You know what it is that we look for, right? For those of you within the program, that's what I want to be seeing. I don't want to be seeing anybody all over the place, over trading with all these different strategies. Let's just master one strategy. Let's make it to the top off of one simple strategy. I'm telling you, the best one is the gap close reversal. That's the best one. The second one that I like the most is what I'm doing on Bumble. That's called a gap fill strategy, where I'm playing for the gap to fill. And you can also combine both of them together. For example, like on Neo, there's a way to combine both of those strategies that I'm using together. Like for example, on Neo, I was playing for the gap close reversal. When the gap fills, the stock has a short-term reversal. And there was also a gap to fill above, meaning it's a gap close reversal to fill the gap above, right? And there's also a gap breakout at 19. There's like 3 different main gap strategies, but the best one is that gap close reversal one, and then the gap fill strategy. That's like the top 2, my bread and butter. That's all I'm looking to trade. I'm telling you guys, when you get to a certain level in trading, you really start to realize that all you want to do is continue to put yourself in a better position to succeed. You want to trade less and you want to keep figuring out, how can I make this more of a high quality setup? Okay, I got 4 trade ideas. How can I make it to where these are going to be the best 2? I'm going to eliminate 2 out of these 4 and just trade these 2 for the week. I'm telling you, the ones that I gave you, so the best ones, Snow, you can get really in depth and rank them. So I would say Spy would be one of the best ones. The Shopify one would be amazing. Snow looks pretty decent. And then we also have Bumble. Bumble looks great. Those are like the top ones that I'm really seeing right now. And then that CEI one should be good right now. Those are like my top ones. And those price alerts should trigger this by the end of this month. Meaning that's 5 phenomenal fucking opportunities for me to exponentially grow my account this month. So from here, it's just waiting for them to trigger. And in the meantime, looking for a better setup to set the price alert. That's it. I'm not looking to watch these stocks and waste my whole fucking day and overtrade and force trades and get back on my profit. I know it works. This system that I've created, it's not time consuming. It's very simple and it works. So it just takes time. Why is everyone in such a rush to see success in the market, but they go to school for 4 years, get a degree that doesn't even guarantee them a job? It just makes no fucking sense. Like, it really doesn't. Like, people really need to take a step back and pull out a compound interest calculator. All they have to do is just master one simple strategy and just perfect it. Continue to perfect it. Continue to perfect it. Shut out all the noise. Shut out all the chat rooms. Shut out the Twitter. Shut out every fucking thing. Like, become a well-disciplined trader who has confidence and knows his craft and knows what needs to be done to see results. Right? The moment I slip back in trading, it completely rewires me. It's like, oh shit, if I keep doing that, I'm about to get back a ton of profit. So it's that shift, it's that rewiring where it's like, okay, I know it works. I have this system. I'm going to continue to do that. And then I study, well, why did I do that in the first place? Right? I'm telling you, in terms of some of my experience, sitting here and watching me, I'll have key levels where I want to, there was a time where like I had very key levels, like there was a gap to fill there, there was a gap to fill there. And I'm like, okay, I got my price alert set. I'm just going to watch the stock right now. And then I would watch that stock and I would be like, I'm getting to know this price action. I'm getting to know how it moves. And I'm like, oh, there's a resistance level here. I'm going to try to short it there. I'm going to try to buy put there. And I would force a trade and I would just get back my money and I would just get back the profits because I'm not using the strategy. I'm just watching the stock, watching the price action, thinking I have a better understanding of it because I see the way it moves and stuff like that. It's like, no, just set the price alerts and just walk away. Trade the best setups at the best prices. I'm going to leave it off at that. If you're interested in joining Trader Society, it's going to be the first link below in the description. Like I said, it's about mastering this strategy and being disciplined enough to stick with it and to be able to do it by yourself and not to blindly follow anybody's alerts. A lot of people are asking me the wrong questions. Like, what do you think about this stock? You should be telling me, why are you even interested in this stock in the first place? Why do you like this stock? What value do you see in it? Why do you feel like this is a better setup than the ones that I posted in my watch list? What value do you see in the stock? Like, you need to be self-sufficient. If you're just looking to get spoon-fed, you're not going to do well within the market. I can assure you, the people who are getting the best results in the program are the ones who are giving me some of the best ideas. They're not the ones asking me like, well, what do you think of this? And what do you think? Like, it's like, they're literally like showing me some of the best setups. Like, you got to be self-sufficient, you got to be disciplined, and you got to stick to what works. I'm gonna leave it off with that, guys. If you do want to join Trader Society, it's gonna be the first link down below in the description.